Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever read one of those finance articles that just brightly tells you to save more money and you literally want to throw your phone across the room? Because, let's be real, it is absolutely infuriating to be handed that generic advice when you're completely broke. So today's explainer is breaking down exactly why small savings grow fast and how you can harness this to realistically hit your goals in 2026 without making yourself utterly miserable in the process.
Because, look, we've got to address the elephant in the room right off the bat. What money am I actually supposed to save if my paycheck disappears the second it hits my account? If you're sitting there thinking this right now, your skepticism is 100% valid. When you're stuck in that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, the mere idea of saving sounds totally out of touch. But here's the reality check we're making today. Saving actually isn't about having a bunch of extra cash lying around. It's really about intentionality with the cash you already have. Let's see how this all builds together.
All right, part one, we need to bust the broke saving myth. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we've all been conditioned to think we need massive chunks of cash to even start. Like, if you can't stash away $500 a month, why even bother, right? Well, authors Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez reframe this completely. They say, money isn't just money. It's your time, your energy, your life. We're totally shifting the paradigm here. It's not about hoarding pennies or punishing yourself. It's about reclaiming your literal life energy. When you look at a $5 bill not as just paper, but as a tiny slice of your time on this earth, keeping it in your pocket suddenly feels like a superpower.
And that brings us to the actual psychology of the microstart. One single dollar. I mean it. Start with something that feels almost suspiciously easy. $1 a day, maybe $5 a week, and put it in a totally separate account. Why? Because doing this completely sneaks past your brain's natural resistance to feeling deprived. You are not going to miss a single dollar, but you are quietly building this unstoppable psychological momentum that's absolutely critical to making those small savings grow fast.
Which leads us to step 2, finding your hidden money.
To find that hidden cash, you kind of have to play detective with your own life. Pull up those bank statements and look, no judgment, seriously, zero judgment. Just look to spot exactly where your life energy is quietly slipping through the cracks. Because there's a huge shift we need to make here. Traditional budgeting, it literally feels like a punishment. It's this heavy burden of cutting out everything fun, which is why everyone quits. It's unsustainable. Conscious spending is the exact opposite. You keep your daily iced coffee if it genuinely brings you joy. You just ruthlessly cut the stuff you don't actually care about. It instantly lowers your anxiety and creates a financial lifestyle you can actually stick with.
Moving on to part 3, frictionless optimization. So, we've nailed down the small daily habits, but we can't ignore the big stuff, you know? Housing, transportation, food. When you start optimizing those larger categories, a fantastic North Star to keep you balanced is the simple budget target. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. But please, hear me loud and clear on this. This is just a target. It's not a strict law. If you're broke right now, hitting 20% savings today is probably impossible. And that is perfectly okay. The whole game here is just aiming for gradual progress over perfection.
Now, to actually help you hit those targets without going crazy, check out this highly actionable little trick, the 24-hour impulse rule. Step 1, you feel that sudden burning urge to buy something non-essential. Step 2, you force yourself to wait exactly 24 hours. Step 3, watch the excitement completely evaporate. Impulse spending is so sneaky, and it is silently draining your wallet. By just throwing up this tiny roadblock of friction, you give your logical brain a second to catch up with your emotions. Want another amazing way to add some friction? Make spending feel real again. Actually go to an ATM and withdraw a set amount of cash for the week. When the cash is gone, it is gone. This is Dave Ramsey's classic cash envelope concept. And it works because swiping a card is dangerously frictionless. It barely registers in our brains that we're losing anything. Handing over physical, crisp bills, that forces you to literally feel the sting of your spending.
All right, part 4, automating your momentum.
So the crucial point is, human willpower is notoriously garbage. You are going to get tired. You're going to slip up. That is exactly why setting up automatic transfers is the ultimate secret weapon for consistency. Even if it's literally an automatic transfer of $10 a week, just do it. Let the computers do the heavy lifting for you. And speaking of systems, you need a strict one for dealing with debt. You basically have two choices. You can attack the smallest debts first, which gives you these incredibly motivating, quick psychological wins, or you can attack the highest interest debt first, which mathematically keeps more money in your pocket over time. Handling debt strategically doesn't have to be overly complex. It just means picking one of these two paths and sticking to it like glue. And now, part 5. This is the fun stuff. How small savings explode.
Okay, so we've laid the groundwork, we've built the tiny habits, we've automated the systems. Now, I want you to really lean in, because we're about to look at the mathematical magic of the snowball effect. This is where those tiny, seemingly insignificant little tweaks suddenly compound into something monstrous. Here is the snowball formula. Let's say you cut just $5 a day in pointless spending. Then, you manage to earn an extra $200 a month doing a little side hustle or freelance gig. Finally, you systematically save $50 a month. These are completely realistic, micro-habit adjustments directly from the source material that literally anyone can start layering together right now.
So what exactly happens when you layer those tiny actions together? Boom. $2,000. In just one single year, you'd have over $2,000 sitting in the bank. That is a massive payoff, guys. It proves perfectly why small savings grow incredibly fast. It is all about the relentless compounding of small, smart choices.
And this brilliantly illustrates why that money actually matters. It buys you options. Having that first safety net of $500 to $1,000 gives you an immediate shield against unexpected bills, life emergencies, and the trap of relying on toxic credit card debt. Listen, before you ever stress about investing in the stock market or anything like that, you need this buffer. Because with this safety net, a flat tire is suddenly just a mildly annoying flat tire. It is no longer a full-blown financial disaster.
Now, to protect all this amazing progress you're making, you absolutely have to stop measuring your financial life against everyone else's social media. I mean it. Comparison quietly ruins your finances. You see someone posting from a beach in Bali, you suddenly feel incredibly behind in life. And that feeling leads directly to panic and overspending to compensate. Remember, put the blinders on and focus purely on your own micro progress.
Which brings us to our final parting thought. You don't have to be perfect at this, but what can you save your first $1 on today? As personal finance expert Ramit Sethi always points out, the real secret is just to start. You have the tools now, you understand the magic of the snowball effect, so take a look around your life today, take immediate, tiny action, and just watch how fast your financial reality transforms.